Morning, March 19th. Got ice on in the water, but a nice beautiful March day. Definitely can't complain about that. Got some of the bulbs are starting to pop, so thought I'd do a quick little video on that. All my good old bird feeder junk. Here's the part of the orchard. I got about 100 new trees to replace some of these and to add into some areas. They'll be coming April 15th. I got a bunch of shrubs coming today. But here's a bunch of the little crocuses. Kind of closed up overnight. Just do a quick little walk, see around. It's going to start getting to be a busy time of year, so kind of nice to document this while I can. All the tulips and the daffodils starting to come up. I need to start dividing some of these daffodils. I'll have to mark them so that I can dig those bulbs up later. Some of those have been in here for probably 5-6 years. They were definitely the first ones I put in for nematode control. But I put a few of those around each of the root bases, and as you can see, they've divided and kind of becoming some pretty good plants. Here comes Jake, gonna come help us out. Pears, so hopefully I finally get some European pears this year. I'm putting a bunch more in. Figure that'll help with the cross-pollination if nothing else. There's another little crocus. About the last 3 or 4 years I've bought at the Restore a bunch of crocuses and bulbs, and usually they do clearances about November, so if I can get them in the ground. Sometimes I have to wait till spring to get them in the ground, but when you can get them for next to nothing, it's kind of nice. And then I put the different stuff in. It seems like the first year you put them in, they don't come up till way late, and you really don't get too much of a flowering, but they're establishing. So these were all stuff that I put in last year, and I really didn't see any of the crocus. And then here's one of the things that I like to do, since I'm digging a hole anyway. This is a daffodil. I usually throw a couple crocuses kind of in that hole too. There's some tulips. The hyacinths are even coming up over here. So nice. I put a bunch of hyacinths right by my lane. That way, I thought as they're coming up, they look that much showier. And down here's my late. Ooh, frost got that one. That, and it might have just ran its course too. But there's another one that did close up. And then here's an old tree. This used to be a Doug fir. It was a huge one that was lightning strike. I dug it out. Been burning down the roots. So I think this year it'll be time I'll actually plant right beside it here and fill in this hole. This is my last maturing section. So it's my November 1 to November 15th. And I've got several trees on order for this section this year, so we'll see how that all goes. They've been injecting the nitrogen into the soil on some of the farms around here. Over here's my zone 2. trees. I've got several of these peaches are dead, so I've ordered several replacements. So this year we'll be filling in a lot of these replacements I haven't done for about 3 years. So here's a whole bunch more bulbs popping up. Oh yeah, these daffodils are coming nice. Lots of goodies coming up. Over here's my Persian walnut. I got a couple nuts last year off them, so hopefully this year will be a banner crop. I'll actually get a couple 5-gallon pails of them. That's what I'm hoping for. This one, and then I've got 2 others. There's my Primocane blackberries, so I need to mow all that off. Over here's some of my strawberries. They're looking good, up and spreading. Kind of want to use those all as ground cover in here, just to get that all taken care of. You can see where the mice went through under the snow. My Egyptian walking onions. Down there's some of those mice tunnels. They like to go all around under the snow, and a little poison in there from time to time, just to kill them off, because we've definitely got a big colony over here. But here's pretty nice where the strawberries have taken over, and just makes a real nice mulch. That way all we've got, and they crowd out everything else. So I'm kind of trying to encourage that in these others. I've got another, what do I have, 200 plants coming. These are the everbearing, and I do have one variety of June bearing in here, but I just love those everbearing. It's nice to get fresh strawberries in October, November. And then up here you can see quite a bit more grass. And then here's my little strawberry colony. It's kind of dwindling out, so hopefully this year we can get them up. This is where I want to plant all these new ones, and then hopefully we can get it to take over. There's my false cypress, looking good. These will only get about 12 foot tall, so they're on my west border. That way hopefully make a nice windbreak. There's the evergreens. Here's a bunch more of the crocuses. One of the kind of white flowering. I really am not a fan of white flowering. I get enough of the apples and that stuff that comes up white. So if I'm planting something, I want color, especially if it's a dang flower. But I do like all these, especially this time of year. It's just great. Ooh, there we go. One daffodil starting to pop. There's nothing like seeing the spring colors and getting everything. There we go. One little guy. This guy looks like he's coming nice. Good peach. And here's my other peaches. Oops. Here comes the mailman. There we go. Over here. But I need to do some serious pruning time. We're at that time of year. And peach is doing pretty good. It's kind of been on decline. This one is probably, what, 7 years old? My area, about 10, 12 is about max for a peach. So usually only get 2 partial crops, 1 bumper crop, and then if you're lucky you get a second bumper crop before you have to replace the tree. But they're so dang good that it's worth it. So, and over here, a few coming up. I've got a bunch of peonies in here. For me, flowers are just kind of something nice. They're starting to pop up. Something nice to so I don't have to weed eat up close to the tree there. As much of that type of work as I can avoid, I like to. So. A few more over here. This is a nice, it's a hybrid burr oak English oak. It's a combination tree, and he has been just growing fast as he can be. There's that one, and then I've got one over here, and that one will eventually have to come down, but I'll stick him in there for a few years. And I already took the central leader out once. He just really went to town. But once he gets up probably 40-50 feet and starts shading out my orchard, then he'll have to go. Here comes Jake coming over to help out again. All right, buddy. Okay, have a great Saturday.